Well, guys, it finally happened. Round of applause. Round of applause for the Kevins. The Kevins finally got me a job. They're still unemployed, but at least they're helping me make money. You don't get a dime. This episode is brought to you by Coolis, a Korean-inspired hair care brand that I've been trying out. And living in the desert, my hair is always dry and frizzy. It's just kind of the way it is living out here in Las Vegas. But the formula has these fermented botanicals that help with rehydrating your hair and getting that frizz under control instead of just masking it. So I haven't even been using it that long, but I feel that my ends are smoother and my hair just overall feels a lot softer. So if you want to give your hair a little bit of love, click the link in the description for a discount. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode something. It's like 98. Is it 98? Welcome to episode 98. Dude, we're so close to the hundo. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the hundo. I feel I was thinking it'd be really funny if I had this really big celebration episode on episode 99, and I was just like, guys, we're almost there. I brought in all these guests and a celebrity guest and just all this fun stuff. And then I ended the show. Just ended on 99. Big anticipation for the hundo episode, and then just don't do it. Just cancel myself. Cancel the show. I mean, don't cancel myself. That's not good in this day and age. Can you not rub your head on my head? Actually, I really like it. You're a good kitty. It's true, guys. It's true. The Kevins have finally made me money. It's a true fact. And no, I'm sure you're thinking it's because I got some kind of cat sponsor, Friskies, break me off a piece of that fancy feast. It's not that. No cat companies want to work with me, mostly because of boy Kevin. He's just very off-putting, and he's not really the ideal cat. She's beautiful. Girl Kevin's super beautiful. She's thin, she's sleek, she takes care of herself. And Kevin is just a dumpster gremlin. That's all he is. He's just a gross little, he's sweaty. I'm like, how? Do animals sweat? Every time I see his fur, it's sweaty. I'm like, dude, stop moving my microphone away, kitty. Yeah. So you'll get cat treat companies. They'll be like, we don't really want our customers to want to have cats that look like your cat, so we're not going to sponsor your show. And I'm like, I get that completely. I also don't want my cat to look like my cat. But alas, he does. There's nothing I can do about it because I'm doing the same thing for both cats, and one's a trash gremlin and one's a picture beauty. One is the prettiest cat you've ever seen in your life, and the other one is just a sweaty, look at this picture. It's like when H.P. Lovecraft is the creature was so disgusting, I can't even describe him. I don't even have the English words to describe how gross and fat and disgusting and terrifying and horrible this creature is. That's me right now. I'm at a loss for words. No, he's just a fat piece of shit. That's just the best way to say it. But yeah, anyway, so, oh my gosh, she's so cute. Girl Kevin, you can't, audio listeners, you can't see, but Girl Kevin is here and she's just rubbing her head on my hair, and it's really cute. Just kidding, I hate you. Yeah, so it's true. I occasionally get what's called a self-tape, and that is, it's an audition on tape. Ow! You're biting my ears. Stop it. Attention. See this? Okay, we're going to get to this in a second. So when you're an actor, back in the day, you'd have a physical headshot, and they could only be black and white. That's how old I am. When I started in acting, you could not have colored headshots. Isn't that insane to think about? Side note, going on a quick side note right now. You know how the whole world's freaking out about AI, and especially artists? We're just well, I guess we're done for because AI can just create everything that we do. We can create movies and then can you stop moving my microphone away from my face with your tail? It's really annoying. Yeah, AI can create music. AI can mimic a real person's voice. AI can create models. Why do actors and artists even need to exist? And I met this amazing woman named Kate at a magician's wedding recently, because that's a normal thing that you do when you live in Las Vegas. And she was saying, she's a playwright in New York, and she was saying that she is writing a play about Pablo Picasso's life. And she said in her research, she had learned that he was going through the same thing because he lived in the 1970s. He did not live in 1423 like we all think he did. He did not live in medieval times. He's like a recent dude. Like, he saw cars, man. Like, so I guess when he was alive, that's when like photography became really big. And he said to himself, well, I guess I'm done. Like, no one's going to want paintings anymore. Now that there's photography, I'm done for. Like, the same crap we're saying now about AI, he said it about photography. And so I guess that's when he started painting like noses on ears and eyes on foreheads and lips on shoulders. You know, like, he had to go full lips on shoulders because he had to compete with photography. It's just interesting. That was just an interesting tidbit. Where the hell was I going with that? Yes, okay. So back in the day when I was an actor, first starting out as a little kid and I had bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I was like, I'm going to go to Hollywood and be a star. Even though that's exactly what happened. It's like it's such a cliche thing to be like, I'm going to move to Hollywood and be a star. And like the odds of that happening are so slim. But it did happen to me. Hey, believe in your dreams, kids. They can come true. So you had to have a headshot that was black and white. It had to be 8x10. It couldn't be 8.5 by 11, which is a normal size of a piece of paper. For some reason, they're like, we're going to be difficult. And I don't even know who I'm talking about. Who's they? They had to be difficult. The lords and gods of Hollywood. Stop pushing my microphone. I know you want attention. I understand that you do. The overlords of Hollywood, whoever they were at the time, whoever was like establishing the rules, your headshot had to be a physical copy, 8x10, black and white. You had to have your resume stapled to the back, and then you had to trim your resume to be 8x10 instead of 8.5 by 11. You know how effing annoying that is? To have to just print out like 200 headshots and then 200 resumes and then staple all the resumes to the back of the headshots and then trim the resumes so there's no paper hanging over. Because if your resume was bigger than your headshot, you know what they did? You know what casting did? They dropped it in the trash can. They trash canned you. They put your headshot and resume in the same place that Kevin would live. Not girl Kevin, fat Kevin. They put it in a dumpster. Kevin loves dumpsters. He thrives there. He feels really at home in a nice, dirty, just flea-infested dumpster. That's where he feels most at home. But that is where your headshot would go if you were an actor and your resume was bigger than your headshot. It is insane, dude. Like, thinking back on these standards, effing insane. I remember when actors started having colored headshots, and I was like, whoa, that's risky. Is that fine? Is that fine? This was seriously like a topic between actors. Like, we like whispered in the alleys, like we've heard that actors are just gathering in dark alleys with hooded cloaks, just and we would gather in alleyways with our headshots and resumes and say, alas, we hear talk that colored headshots have been popping up all over Hollywood. What should we do about this? What say you, actors? And then, you know, by that time, all the people gathered in the alleyway have just started doing like improv comedy and like trying to name drop and one up each other, and so they're not listening to the guy who's like, what should we do? It's just, you can't make actors, you know, listen unless they're getting paid and they have a script and they it's for exposure and, you know, all that fun stuff. So anyway, it was interesting to watch. Like, then suddenly colored headshots was the thing. And then suddenly, like, we all couldn't do it fast enough. It was like agencies, like, phones are ringing off the hooks and agencies are calling their assistants to call their clients and be like, we have to get colored headshots. Black and white headshots are out. So we all had to get colored headshots, which are more expensive than black and white headshots. Where's my drink? Oh, it's right here. My baby energy drink. So I swear I'm going somewhere with this. I think I do. Yes, I know where I'm going with this. So back in the day, if you wanted to be an actor, you had to live in Hollywood or New York. That's just kind of the thing. That's it, right? The internet like wasn't really popping off like it is now. You couldn't put an audition on tape. You had to because like how would you, right? Like you had a giant camcorder the size of a microwave, like on your shoulder trying to video things. Then what, it goes on a VHS tape? And then what do? You're going to physically mail that VHS tape to the casting director and then they need to watch it on a VHS player? Like this would be a many week process. Like it just didn't make sense. So nobody put their auditions on tape. They would tape you when you were in the casting office. Like casting would film you to then show the director. But yeah, if you wanted to be a film actor, especially, you had to move to Hollywood. If you want to be like a stage actor, you go to New York. That was the thing. And yeah, even in LA, like I lived in Riverside, which was a couple hours away from the main hub city of LA. So if I got the call for an audition, that was a full day to audition for sometimes a minute. Sometimes an audition would be 1 minute long. I am not joking. We would be in the car for 3.5 hours. And then we would try to decipher the unintelligible no parking signs that are all over Hollywood, because some are like, this is 30-minute parking, and then underneath it, it'll say 1 hour parking on Mondays. And then underneath it, it'll be like 27-minute parking half of Fridays. And then under that, it'll be like absolutely no parking whatsoever. And then underneath that, it'll be like, park wherever you want. And you're just like, what? And then the one under that, it'll say like, oh, street cleaning is every other Wednesday if it's a full moon and the temperature is below 60 degrees. And we're like, what? And then on Thursdays from 6 a.m. to 6:15 a.m., it's free parking for anybody named Chet. It's just how it is. You'll get a signpost that has like 12 effing signs regarding parking on one street in LA. That's just, it's a weird math problem. It's like weird LA math. Such a like, this is, hello, I can only tell the truth, and this is my brother, and he can only tell lies. It's just like a weird, like, why do I have to solve a riddle to park in LA? I just want to go on my 30-second audition and drive 3.5 hours home on these freeways. Thank you very much. I don't have time to solve riddles. I'm trying to be a star. So that's what living in LA is like. So, where was I going with this? Yes, okay, so you drive all these hours, you go into LA, you audition for sometimes 30 seconds, and then you drive all the way back home. And that's your full day. That's your full day. You pay all the gas, like you pay all the the mental toll, the emotional toll. We didn't have GPS, so I was in charge of the Thomas Guide. Do you remember that? The big, thick paper maps that were books. They didn't like fold out like a traditional map you'd see in a movie. It was like a book. And that in of itself was a riddle, because you'd get a portion of the city on one page and it'd be like, oh, do you want to go a little bit above this page? Then you need to turn 36 pages to the right. And then if you need to drive off that page, then you need to go back 100 pages. And then you need to, and it's just like, it was, I was terrible at it. Like, I was 12. My mom's like screaming at traffic and honking and like, like trying not to get in an accident on Sunset Boulevard while screaming at her 12-year-old to like, find La Brea! Where's La Brea? And I'm just crying. I don't know how to spell that. I homeschool you. You should know how to spell La Brea. I'm like, is it with an L and an E? L-E? No, it's L-A. What's wrong with you? Is it one word? It's 2 words. So just getting into LA. It's like, Whole thing. And then hopefully you can get a parking spot and then you can get to your audition. And then if you don't plug the meter enough and you're waiting for your audition and like, okay, so say you can only plug the meter for 30 minutes and then you're in the casting office and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting for them to call you in while you sit in a room with 20 other girls who look exactly like you. So you're sitting and you're waiting and you're waiting and the time is ticking away and the time is ticking away and you're like, I gotta plug the meter. But if you leave to plug the meter and they call your name in that 20 seconds that it takes you to run outside, plug the meter and get back, if they call your name and you don't respond, they skip you. And you are lucky if when you come back, they make room for you to audition. But usually they were just like, you weren't here when we called your name, so you're out. Dude, I'm not joking. I am not joking. That is how effed up and stressful Hollywood was when I was younger. It's stressful now too, just in a lot of different ways. It's evolved in its stress-inducing talents. Yeah, so thankfully now, fast forward, now we live in the modern era. And we can not drive all the way into LA, and we can just film ourselves at home doing these little scenes, send them to casting, and then they review them, and then you never hear from them again. That's really how it goes. You record upwards of 200 self-tapes over the course of 5 years, and then your reward for doing that is that you never hear from any of them. Yeah, I'm not even really sure they get to casting. You just kind of like submit them on these websites and just hope for the best. You get a confirmation email, but that doesn't really mean anything. It's just, the email's just like, we probably sent your audition to casting. And I'm like, you said probably. That's not really filling me like with a lot of confidence. And they're like, yeah, no, they probably, maybe, most likely got it, possibly. And you're just like, okay, but... So you get really discouraged submitting self-tapes because, yeah, you usually hear nothing. But every once in a while, when the blood moon comes round, which it did this week, there was a blood moon this week, so that's why. Every once in a while, Riley, come here. You can be part of the show if you want. Hi. What's up, doggo? Every once in a while, your audition does make it to casting, and you do happen to be the right person for the job, and then you can either get a callback or they hire you on the spot, and then you get to work a low-paying, non-union, terrible job. Good for you. Like, yeah, you did it. Such a hater. Oh my gosh. I'm realizing how disgruntled I am right now. I always said I wasn't going to get like this. Like, I'm so like this, right? Like, I'm just old man yells at clouds right now. I'm so like disenchanted by the whole Hollywood acting experience. I'm so over it. But honestly, because I'm so disenchanted I think it's why I have gotten a couple jobs I've gotten in the last couple months, because I've stopped caring. And I think that my lack of caring has come through on camera, and I think casting respects me for it. That's my theory. I don't act like I'm trying too hard. I just I'll do a self-tape in one take, and I'll be like, good enough, and I'll send it off. I'm like, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I practice this scene for 5 hours and then spend 2 hours filming it and trying to get the perfect take and like doing it again and again and again until I'm satisfied. It doesn't matter if I spend my whole day working on a self-tape audition, or if I just kind of scan the lines, do one take, send it off. There's no difference. You never hear from either of them. So I've just started going the route of not caring. I booked a couple local jobs here and there, but most recently, there was a commercial audition where they wanted the talent to fall off a ladder. And they were like, can you really do it? And I'm like, oh my God. Like, most self-tapes, you just film in front of a blank wall in your house and try to light it good and try to have good sound, good enough sound. But this one, they're like, can you just actually fall off a ladder? Like, can you do the scene in your house? I'm immediately annoyed. Like, you want me to set up a scene in my house? You want me to fall off a ladder in my house to submit this self-tape that I'm never going to hear back from? Okay, sure. Why not? I got nothing else going on. Let's do it. And I put it off and I put it off and I put it off. And then finally I got the email from Actors Access that was like, your chance to audition is expiring in like an hour. Like, if you don't submit this self-tape, like, you'll never get this job. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to get the job I definitely wasn't going to get in the first place. Oh my gosh, I'm shocked. But then I made some time and I was like, okay, I'll do this. So I go up, and you know what? This is when the fun part comes, right? It's the making yourself do something is never fun. But then when you do it and you're in it, then it's super fun. It's kind of like this podcast. There's sometimes where I'm just like, oh, I have to charge the camera and clear the card and get all hair and makeup ready and get my set ready and clean up all the cat vomit from my carpet here and vacuum and change the letterboard. It's like I have so much to do to set up for the podcast. But then once I sit down and I hit record on the mic and the camera, then I'm like, hell yeah, we can do this all day. We can do this every day. This is fun. Because then you get into it and you're like, oh yeah, this is the part I really like. So I set up the scene in my bedroom to fall off a ladder. And then now I'm starting to get into it, right? Now I'm just like, ooh, what am I going to wear? I'm like, oh, I have like the kid's mattress I can put off frame, and then I can fall onto that. Yeah, and then I can like use the shelf and then this vase and put it up there and then fall on some. Okay, so I set it all up and I do it and I watch it back and it looks pretty good. I'm like, this looks pretty good. And I'm like, so my plan is I'm going to film me falling off the ladder, and then I'm going to film a separate scene of me on the ground writhing in pain. So again, I'm just doing this. I have the house to myself. I'm just doing this up in my bedroom upstairs. So I set up the camera, I set up the scene, I get on the ground, I'm like holding my knee, I'm trying to frame it right. And then I hit record and I get in my spot and I hold my knee like I just fell off the ladder and I've dislocated it and I'm in so much pain. And as I start to act, who just saunters into the scene right in the front? Girl Kevin. She doesn't know what I'm doing up there. She doesn't know I'm filming a scene. She doesn't know I'm doing a self-tape. Like, bitch, stop. I am doing thespian things right now. Can you not? So she just like, saunters into the scene. And she like comes up and sniffs my nose and like, meow. And so then what can you do? I just start ad-libbing with her. And I'm like, hi, can you call someone? Meow. Can you get an ice pack? Meow. And then she just walks right off screen. So I go, right. So I went with it. I pretended she was part of the scene. And then we planned this and we rehearsed this, guys. This was just as we rehearsed. And then as soon as she saunters off screen, I just start laughing hysterically. And I go to watch it back. And it is so funny because it's just, obviously I didn't plan this. It's just me in my bedroom, stupid girl Kevin, just walking through my audition. And I thought to myself, maybe this isn't the best acting job I could have done in this scene, but damn it, it is funny. And it's going to make the casting director laugh. So, it, print it, send it, we're done. Cut, print, check the gate, moving on. I submit the audition, just spitting into the wind, here you go, have fun, watch that. I'm probably not the girl you want because of the 700 other girls that you've received auditions of them falling off ladders. But here you go, mine has a cat in it, enjoy. You'll get a chuckle today. So, lo and behold, a couple days later, I got an email that I don't normally get, which is that you have a callback for this self-tape. And I'm like, a callback to a self-tape? I have a self-tape callback? My gods. It must be a blood moon. You just never get this email. I'm shocked that my self-tape even went through. I'm like, oh, good, proof that they do see it. Cool. So I'm like, dope. What's the callback? And they're like, we actually just, for the callback, we don't want you to fall off a ladder in your bedroom. We just want you to do the normal self-tape thing and stand in front of a white background, light yourself good, mic yourself good, and slate your name and where you're from and do the profiles thing. It's so stupid. Yeah, dude, casting loves profiles. They're like, we want to see your profile, which is always funny to me. Because, like, you know the scene in Family Guy where, like, Stewie, like, glass falls on Stewie and you see it from the front and it doesn't look too bad. And then he turns to the side and it's like 3 feet long, like sticking out of his head. That's always what I imagine when I have to do profiles in an audition, because you talk to the camera, you look at it with both eyes and they see the front of your face, and then you have to stop and turn to the left and then stop and turn to the right. Supermodel, do your thing on the runway, or turn to the left. Now turn to the right. I have been watching RuPaul's Drag Race, if you're curious. I'm sure you were already thinking that. But yeah, so you turn to the left and you turn to the right. And I'm always like, is this because they want to see if you have like a massive nose? It's just like, it's got to be. It's the only reason, right? Because like they see what you look like from the front and they're like, no. We got to see what you look like from the side. Like if I just have like a 3-inch nose, like if I turn to the side. That's always what I've thought. Even since I was a kid doing profiles. I'm like, that's so funny. So then, but get this. So then I set up in my normal self-tape area, in my little studio. I have a green screen in there and a white screen and, you know, whatever I need, whatever backdrop I need, I have. So I do my little slate, and for some reason, I leave the door open. And I never do this because of this dog. You can't see this dog right now because she's laying down out of screen, but I have a golden retriever, and what do? They like to be where you're standing all the time. Or are you standing there? I'm also standing there. That's what golden retrievers say. Or are you walking that way? That's so crazy. So am I. And I'm also like doing it right where you're walking and you're standing. We're doing the same thing. That's so funny that, oh, now you're going that way. I'm also going that way. We have the same schedule. Like golden retrievers just need to chill with that. But so I always close the door because it's a process that requires no dogs. We don't need dogs in auditions, in most of the ones that I do. I'm like, this requires no dogs, so we're just gonna close the door so that no dogs just kind of start marching in the middle of an audition. But for some reason, I didn't close the door, and something happened that's never happened before. Guess who comes waltzing in the room? Supermodel, do your thing. In the office, where mom's trying to film, a stupid self-tape, Sashay, that's what Girl Kevin did. She just walks in that office where I'm trying to film my self-tape, and she starts meowing while I'm filming. So I'm just like, hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Lisa Foyles. I'm about 5'7", and I live right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm just like, you can very audibly hear her meow. So then I go with it, right? Because now I'm like, casting already knows her. So then I just kind of like look down and I'm like, girl, you had your moment. Get out. I forget what I said, but I said something about like, girl, you had your moment. And she's like, meow. And you know what I did? I said, F it, send it. Cut, print, check the gate, moving on, we're done. That's it. I'm not redoing it. I'm not picking up the cat, I'm not removing the cat from the situation. I'm not locking cat outside door. I'm not doing it again. I did it once. My time is precious. If there's a cat in the take, there's a cat in the take. And I sent it. And you guys, I booked the job. I laughed so hard when I booked it. I was like, you are kidding me. Like, of all the jobs, of all the self-tapes, like, of all the submissions that have just floated into the ether, that have I've surely never been seen, never been heard of again, like, of course it'd be this one that I book. So I filmed that yesterday, and Girl Kevin was the talk of the town. She was the talk of the whole set. Like, several people were like, "You had the audition with the cat," and I'm like, "Yes, I did." And they're like, "We were laughing so hard." They're like, "That made all of us laugh." One of the ladies was like, "Yeah, she's like, I paused it and I like called other people into the office to like watch it because it was so funny." And I'm like, "Of course you did." No, I mean, obviously I thought that was really funny. And so he mostly talked about the Kevin so much on set, which is very upsetting because really it's supposed to be about me, right? I'm the star here. Honestly, there was a part of me that was like, are you sure you wanted to hire me and not her? Wouldn't that have been the best? Like, of all the times that you submit a self-tape that you're like really proud of or whatever, that they come back and they're like, we actually don't care for the redhead. Can we get the cat? Can we hire the cat? How much for the cat? Is the cat SAG-AFTRA? Is that a union cat? What's her day rate? I thought that would be so funny if they're like, how can we hire the cat? We don't need you, but like, does the cat have an IMDb page? They should at this point, but yeah, no, there was it was a non-animal set, but I did get hired. I did do the job yesterday. I did fall off a ladder 20 times in a row. It was actually a lot of fun. I like doing physical stunts. All stunts are physical. Like, you know what I mean? Like doing like physical comedy and like stunts on set. I really enjoy doing that. I guess not all stunts are physical. What about publicity stunts? Not funny. But yeah, so there was a big cushy mat and I had to like climb up a ladder and like reach for something in the garage and like not quite get it and then kind of try to grab at things as I was falling, and then like a bucket of balls falls down on me and a basketball and like a wreath and ribbons and yarn and like all this stuff comes tumbling down on me as I fall off this ladder. And it's always fun because like I didn't get hurt at all. The whole thing was really safe and the mat was super cushy, so it was fine falling from a high distance like onto this thing. I only have one bruise and it's on my thumb, and I don't even remember hitting my thumb on anything, but it was like really dark yesterday. But yeah, so it went well. It was a really fun film shoot. It was it's always good to get back on a set and just, you know, the stress of any film set is kind of, what's the word? Endearing, maybe, just because I grew up in that world where everyone's stressed out and everything's always running behind. Nothing's ever on schedule. We're always pushing lunch another half an hour. Like, nobody has what they need. Everybody's just running around with walkie-talkies and belts, like utility belts like Batman, that have just gaffer's tape and scissors and like it's just chaos. It's chaos all the time. I actually learned a new film term, which I had never heard before, which I didn't think was possible because I've been doing this for so long. So they have Apple boxes. Do you know about these? Like when you're on a film set, they just have like a plethora of wooden boxes that are like yay big, like a standard size. Just in case, you know, you got to prop anything up, somebody's got to sit on it, whatever. They're just incredibly useful in many different ways. And there's a regular Apple box, a half apple, a quarter apple. And I learned yesterday that when you turn it long ways and put it up like tall, the box, it's called a New York apple. And I'm like, I heard somebody like, hey, bring an apple box, make it New York apple. And they saw them put it up. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, like skyscrapers, like New York apple. Like that's why it's make it tall ways. And I was like, how have I been on film sets since I was 12 years old and I've never heard the term New York apple when referred to an apple box set up that way? So I thought that was really fun. The more you know. See, I'm evolving as an actor. I'm always perfecting my craft and keeping my mind open to new educational opportunities, we'll say. So, you know, just growing and evolving as a person like a Pokemon. But yeah, anyways, so that's, I don't know if you guys will see that commercial. I think it's a local commercial. I'm not really sure. It's for like UMC, like urgent care. Cause obviously like I'm hurting myself in the commercial. And then they're like, did you fall off a ladder? You should come to urgent care. I don't know. It seems like a really niche audience that we're speaking to. Only people who fall off ladders. That are the people we're speaking to specifically. So I don't know if you guys are going to see it. I don't know if it's national or local or whatever. I don't ask questions. I'm just there to do my job and eat craft service. That's what I'm there for. But anyway, I thought that was really funny that freaking girl, Kevin, got me the job. She had to have, because the scene was not too hard. I'm sure other girls did it better, just as good as me or better. But she made it memorable. And something Sean always says is good and bad is subjective, but being memorable is what's important. And my commercial audition was certainly memorable because of that stupid cat. Thank you, girl Kevin. I love you. Anyway, that's our show. That's episode 98, I think. Yeah, guys, love you. Thanks for watching. Give me some ideas for what you want to see on episode 100. I don't know. We'll make it fun and do fun stuff. Bye. Oh, I forgot to tell you that Lonely Life is out. Oh my gosh! Stop the music. Stop playing me off. Stop being the Oscars. Don't play me off. I have more things to say. I was featured on a song by the Co-Defendants called "Lonely Life," and we'll talk about that more in the next episode because I have a great story about working with Fat Mike, recording that. Fat Mike from NoFX. But more than anything, I just want you to listen to it. It's a great song, and the music video stars the guy from Sublime. So go watch that. And yeah, it's a great song. It's called "Lonely Life." Look it up. Co-Defendants "Lonely Life" on YouTube. If you're a video viewer, you're already on YouTube. So then just tab over and just search for it now. Okay, bye. Oh, if you want to see the audition, here it is.
Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks for asking. Could you get an ice pack? Thanks.